Hey, welcome back. Speaking specifically to people bringing products to market, the design process doesn't end at the product. The packaging, point of purchase, store, or website, and supporting materials such as ads, commercials, and so on are a critical part of the customer experience. The more consistently you can design these with a holistic story, the better your product's going to do in the market, strongly because of your continuity of the experience as it relates to the customer. At CCD, we call these the 5 shells of product experience. They include marketing, location, POP, or point of purchase, packaging, and product. Marketing is the advertising collateral that occupies all of the spaces in between. This can be a commercial during a break in a television show, or a small banner on a website, or even a sticker that's given out at a concert, or even word of mouth from a trusted friend. Location is obviously the place the customer goes to get the product. This is sometimes brand specific, but in the case of brick and mortar establishments like Best Buy, Target, and others, usually they're leasing real estate to other brands to come in and set up shop with their products at the POP level. Stores often have very specific guidelines that they enforce so that brands can't overtake one another in the aisles. Leniencies are made for special circumstances that allow brands to make very obvious footprints within a store, either for a temporary or permanent lifespan. A great example of this is Apple at Best Buy. POP is short for point of purchase. This is also referred to sometimes as POS, which is point of sale. This is the display at retail that helps customers understand their purchasing decision and makes a compelling story for the product. This is usually a temporary in-store component, but often can be used as a more permanent part of the store experience. Packaging is obviously the wrapping that the product comes in. It's used firstly to protect the product in shipping and handling, and secondarily it provides visual support materials that inform what the product does that are on brand with both the product and the company that produces it. And then finally, product. This is the actual tangible or sometimes intangible thing that's solving the customer's problem. This is the thing they're holding, using, or instigating to create an experience. So why discuss the 5 shells? As a consideration to you, the designer or brand master of your company, you should seriously consider all of these components when you're bringing your product to market. If you're only selling online, which is more and more common, you may only need to consider 4 of the 5. The POP shell is usually for store use. Everything else should be really considered carefully when bringing all the parts together. For instance, let's take a look at Apple. The number of ads that a person sees and notices, meaning they pay active attention to in a day, varies greatly depending on your source. Some experts say it's 1,200, others say it's 20,000. Either way, it's a lot. Apple has a very distinct design sensibility that applies to their ad campaigns as well. They're masters of making the product appeal to the demographic that they want them to through various media channels such as television, web, print, and so on. Next, at the point that you decide to buy an Apple product, you might go either to the website or you might go to the Apple Store. Still on brand, you go into an immaculately clean space, often packed to the brim with uniformed "so hip it hurts" store associates that often don piercings, rainbow dreadlocks, youthful expressions of "I've got something that you want," and a polite smile. This isn't by accident. Apple hires who they want to buy their product, so there is a relatability between the customer and the brand. You then approach beautiful tables with acrylic composited messaging that has a nice open space for that single gem of a product that sits almost if by magic atop a thick polycarbonate riser to present the product in a humble light that will solve all of your woes and reflect a better version of yourself. They flank this with backlit graphics of lifestyle images of people living their lives easier by way of using Apple products. Next, you tell your hip store associate that you'd like to purchase that new thing, and they disappear for a while before coming back with a product in the package, and you pay right there on the spot. This is a very critical part of the experience. By having you pay right there on the spot, you're less likely to walk away as you won't have to get into another queue of people, immediately rewarding you for your experience. When making your purchasing decision, anchoring occurs when you use the additional pieces of information to make additional judgments. If they can put the product in your hand and make that checkout smooth, you're that much more likely going to buy that next thing. It's all about making this transaction as silky smooth as possible. But your experience does not end there. You get to commute back home or to the office with that perfectly engineered box that was just the right kind of weight tuned into it that makes you feel as though the money you spent was justifiable. Then as you get ready to experience the opening of the box, the excitement mounts, you cut back the shrink wrap and slowly slide the box out to reveal the shiny new thing. The reward system that Apple has built into their packaging design has ignited a flurry of unboxing videos on YouTube that's inspired others to show unboxing of other products. There's even this one lady, I think in Florida, that makes like $5 million just opening Disney toys. This is part of the experience that's clearly important to us. And then we reach the end of our journey, the product itself. The product is immaculately clean and sterile. It slides out of the package with ease and the setup is simple. When I purchased my iPad, I remember the satisfaction of turning the device on for the first time and letting my hands mar the surface with the oil of my fingers, I'd officially tainted it. But then as I sat with it, I was able to have an experience. The experience completes the journey. The best products evoke an emotional connection by getting out of the way of the user and just letting them have the product experience itself. Ideally, a product should stay silent and not interrupt the user while the experience is being had. There's a declining arc of interruption that's acceptable, however. For instance, when a user is interacting or interfacing with an object for the first time to understand its function, its presence is inherent to the learning. Over time, this interruption exponentially decline to the point that the item quote-unquote disappears and the user is left with just the experience. By creating a complete and consistent experience from the first time your customer hears about your product until the product is in their hands, you'll have created a much more memorable journey that will create a customer for life. This is why it's important to make sure that no part of the design process as it relates to the 5 shells is an afterthought. Product, packaging, POP, store, and marketing should be done in a cascading tandem system that creates a logical and compelling story to help put your product in the hands of the people that need it most. Send me some of your thoughts. Where do you excel in the 5 shells? Are you a product person, a marketing whiz? What was a challenge you had in the creation of a product that didn't really fit with the rest of the brand? Let me know. Send me a note on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll post some of the best insights and projects. Thanks so much. Have a great day.